welcome to yoga class. Thanks so much for joining the practice today. Today's class is for the back, shoulders, and the neck to help reduce tension from these areas. So this sequence is going to include postures that not only ease back pain, but when we relieve the pain from the back, then we start to move up into the shoulders and the neck. Everything is connected. So we're going to explore how to work with this big area of the body, the torso, and how to do this safely with care to take care of your body. So let's move, breathe, and practice yoga. We will start off in a standing forward fold. So go ahead and start on your feet in a standing position. Make your way to the top of the mat. Feel the foundation at your feet, maybe gently rocking towards the toes and then back towards the heels. Arms are by our sides. From here on an inhale breath, we'll sweep the arms up, fingertips towards the ceiling. And as we exhale, we'll hinge at the hips, folding forward. Now, as you come into your forward fold, you might notice tightness in the back space, especially if this is a problem area for you. Know that the longer you're in the fold, the more you're going to ease that tension and that congestion. Another thing I want you to think about are your hamstrings. If your hamstrings are really tight, bend your knees. That'll be more comfortable. If your palms or your fingertips don't reach the mat, you can position blocks underneath your hands. That way, bringing the floor up to you. To get more traction for the spine, you can bring your hands to opposite elbows, framing your head with your arms. Now, as you do this, as you come into the forward fold, whether you've got your elbows in your hands or maybe your arms just dangling, think about releasing your neck. Start to shift the head forward and back, and then side to side. Really letting the neck go. Letting go of the urge to hold the head up. And then come back to stillness, leaving the neck be. While you're in the fold, you might explore bending the knees on the inhale breath and then straightening the legs on the exhale. And again, movement following the breath. Taking the time now at the start of the practice to check in and see where your body is. Let the body know it's time for movement. Using this time of movement as medicine. Self-care. Now, if you're taking the knee bends, pause, bend one knee as the opposite leg straightens. Feel a deeper stretch going into the hip and in the low back. Continue to move with the knee bends, one side at a time. Or if you've started to loosen up and you're ready to deepen the stretch even more, you can take your hands to your ankles and gently bring your torso towards your legs. Now really feel that firing up at the hamstrings if the legs are straight. Come back to moving the head from side to side, releasing the neck, and then forward and back. Maybe continuing to pull the torso toward the legs or releasing the arms down. We'll hold here for a few more rounds of breath. This time of breath work, noticing the shift, the gentle opening that's happened already. Now from here, soften the knees, bend, slowly start to roll up, press your feet to the mat, take your time, let your head come up last. This will prevent you from getting dizzy. Now, as you work towards this standing position of Tadasana, you'll bring your arms by your sides, palms are facing forward. And with the palms facing forward, start to take some shoulder rolls. Inhale, lift the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, take the shoulders back and down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, back and down. Continue to move with the breath. Inhale up, exhale back and down. Letting tension go. Now set the shoulders away from the ears, tuck your chin towards your chest. Feel to the back of the neck. On your next inhale, rotate your right ear above your right shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest, take it to the left side. So we're inhaling to the right, exhale to the left. Releasing tension from the neck with our half circles. One more each side. And then bring the chin to the chest, lift the head, gaze forward. All right, coming back into the shoulders for a shoulder stretch. From here, with your feet hip distance, open your arms out to the side. So you're reaching your fingers in opposite directions, taking an inhale breath. As you exhale, cross the right arm over the left, bend the elbows. See if the hands meet. Now focus on keeping the shoulders low. Reach, lift the elbows up. Feel a stretch at the shoulder of the arm that you have on top. Hold and breathe. Little micro bend in the knees. And on your next exhale, gently unwind the arms. Inhale, reach the fingers back out. Exhale, now the left arm crosses over the right, elbows bend. Hands might connect, maybe not, it's okay if they don't. Keep the shoulders low. Now lift the elbows, hold and breathe. Next, exhale, lower those elbows, unwind the arms. Inhale, reach the fingers out. Exhale, bring the arms down. Now heel toe your feet together so the big toes meet, little space at the heels. Arms are by the sides. Coming into a stretch for the side body. As you inhale, sweep the arms up. Let the palms meet. Exhale, take the arms over to the right, send the hips to the left. Position the top bicep over the ear. On the next inhale, we'll lift the arms straight up, and then exhale, take the arms opposite direction. Give yourself time to breathe into the side of the body, creating space and letting that tension melt away. Inhale, arms rise up. Exhale, separate the arms, lower the hands by your sides. Inhale, sweep the arms back up. Now, as you exhale, take a forward fold. Connect your hands down to the mat. You might need to bend your knees to make this connection. And then we'll step the right foot back, left foot back. Lift the hips, come into your downward facing dog. Spread the fingers wide. Send the chest towards the thighs. Here you can rock the hips from side to side. As you rock the hips from side to side, feel into the shoulders. Feel the strength of your arms. Gaze is down to the mat. Now, as you inhale, bend both knees. Exhale, press heels to the mat. Inhale, bend. Exhale, press the heels down. Continue to move with your breath. And then straighten the legs. Slowly walk your feet to the top of the mat. Once your feet get towards your hands, inhale, take a half lift. Let the palms meet the shins. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, arms rise up. Exhale, palms meet thumbs, come down the midline. Pause for a full round of breath here. Exhale, let go. Good, now we'll separate the arms, bringing the arms back down to your sides. Position the feet hip distance. Now from here, shift the weight into your left foot. Step your right toes back. So I want you to bring your right foot to 90 degrees. So as you're setting up, you've got your legs and your feet positioned for warrior two. So we'll start there. Once you've got the left knee bent, tracking above the ankle, just look down, make sure you can see your big toe and your second toe, and then fly the arms. Fingers are reaching opposite directions. Now we're gonna lower that back arm. Inhale, lift opposite fingers up, and then reach overhead as you gaze up to your fingers. Hold and breathe. Notice where you're feeling the stretch. And then come back to your warrior two. Now from here, we're going to transition into another posture, coming into revolved half moon pose. Before you come into this pose, I want you to take an opportunity to grab onto a block if you'd like to support you in your practice. So for this revolved half moon pose, we've got the left foot forward. We're going to take the right hand down. So to transition, pop onto the right toes, the back toes. Now take the block down to the mat in front of the left foot and off to the right. Now lift your back foot, your right foot, and then twist over to your left. Reach the fingers up. Nice stretch for the left glute. And as you exhale, bend your left knee, drop that right foot back, take the block with you. Let's try that on the other side. We're simply gonna rotate, turning the right toes to the back of the mat, bending the right knee. We'll leave the block off to the side for now because we're gonna start with our warrior two and our reverse warrior. So for now, just make sure that you're setting up with the right knee above the right ankle. Look back, make sure that your left foot is at 90. And then once you can see your big toe and your second toe at your right foot, reach your fingers out, coming into warrior two. Lower that back arm, reach the top fingers up, and then overhead. Gaze up, breathe. This side might feel different. Just notice what's going on in your body. Now we're gonna make that transition to revolved half moon. And we'll take the arms to warrior two, and then we're gonna take the left arm forward with the right foot, pop onto those left toes. As you shift forward, take your hand to meet the block, lift that left leg, reach the right fingers up, twisting to the right. Hold and breathe. Feel into that right hip glute area. And then as we come out, we'll bring the hand down, drop the foot back, land back into your warrior two. And then press into the foot, let the arms come down, and then heel toe your feet hip distance. Now we're gonna remove the block off the mat so that we've got a little more space. From standing, we're now gonna come into a kneeling position. So feet hip distance, arms by your sides. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, dive forward. Another opportunity to stretch the back, coming into spinal flexion. Now we're gonna connect the hands, bend the knees, come off your feet one at a time onto your shins. And set yourself up for tabletop position. When you come into your tabletop, make sure your knees are in line with your hips and your wrists are in line with your shoulders. Look between your knees. If you can see your feet, move them out until you can't see them anymore. Now from tabletop, we'll move through extension and flexion of the spine. As you inhale, let your belly lower towards the mat. And as you exhale, lift your back. Now, as you move with your breath between the cat-cow movements, really exaggerate the movement of your back, but don't worry about moving your head. Don't stress your neck. Just let the head naturally go where it wants to. We'll take a couple more rounds. And then we'll eventually find our way back to a neutral tabletop position. From here, we'll bend the elbows, come onto the forearms, and then slide the legs back. So we're coming on to the belly now. As you come onto the belly, first just start off by feeling the legs connected to the mat. Feel the belly connected to the mat. Inhale, feel the belly pressing to the mat. Exhale, release. So we've got some back bending going on in this position. We're going to continue to explore back bending in this practice. On our next exhale, we'll send the elbows out, lower the chest down, bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Now, once your hands are underneath your shoulders, go ahead and lower your forehead to the mat. And on your next inhale, lift your head, gaze forward, lift your chest. Press the tops of your feet to the mat. And see if you can lift your palms slightly coming off the mat. And then exhale, lower down, forehead meets the mat. From here, slide those hands towards the ribs. On the next inhale, again, lift the head, lift the chest, and now see if you can lift the belly, extending the arms. Deeper back bending now. You can stay like this, or you can challenge yourself to lift the thighs off the mat, upward facing dog. If that's too much compression for your low back, lower back down, bend the elbows, connect the belly, the chest, and the forehead. Just let your arms come out to the sides. Lift your feet and take your feet left, right, right, left. Bring the feet to center. Take the hands back underneath your shoulders. And now push the mat away. Use your energy. Lift your hips. We're preparing to come into child's pose. In this variation, the knees are going to come together, feet together. Send your hips down to your heels. Bring your arms by your sides. This is going to help you relax your shoulders and then lower your forehead down to the mat. Flexion for the spine. Counter stretch after all of that back bending. Feel sensation in the low back, mid back, upper back. Notice where you're feeling it the most in your body. Maybe you gently rock the head from side to side. Staying here for a few more rounds of breath. Child's pose is a really great posture for relaxation. It helps us to reduce anxiety and stress. It's also a really great posture if you suffer from insomnia. This one, because it calms the nervous system, helps us to downregulate and get some better sleep. Now to transition out, let's take our hands under our shoulders. Inhale, lift the head, gaze forward. Walk the hands forward. Moving through some of these postures, slightly open the knees apart from each other, uncurl the toes again. Now, send your hips down to the mat, coming back into that back bending. Arms are straight. Now, I want you to gaze forward. Sometimes we have a tendency to take the head back. That compresses the neck, so we're gazing forward. Remember, if this is too much, you can bend your elbows and lower down. And now we're going to lift the hips, come back to that child's pose. And then again, inhale, lift, press the hips forward. Moving with the breath now, exhale, lift the hips, send them back. As we move through these postures with our breath, feel the mobility in your shoulders. Feel gratitude for this time of movement and connection with yourself, your physical body. The next time you come into child's pose, take a few more rounds of breath. Bring the arms by your sides. Relax those shoulders. Inhale, head rises up. Axial extension now, crown of the head reaching up. We're using this as a transition point to change the station of our body. So we'll just lift the hips enough to take the feet out to one side, and then we'll bring the legs forward. Now shimmy so that your glutes are midway onto the mat. Legs are extended. Now bring your feet together. Feel the heels on the mat. Take your hands behind you. From here, know that we're going to come into a reverse plank. We're going to feel into the shoulders here. You'll also feel this in your core. And as we come into it, you're going to gazing up to the ceiling. So palms are flat on the mat. When you're ready, dig your heels into the mat. On an inhale breath, lift your hips, positioning your body in a straight line. Now gaze up to the ceiling, keeping your neck in line with your back. And then exhale, gently lower your glutes down to the mat. Now, if your fingers are away from you, rotate your fingers towards your glutes, press palms to the mat again, and we're going to come into reverse plank another time. Dig the heels in, inhale, lift the hips, press them up, feel into the shoulders, and then on your next exhale, lower down. So now that you've tried both hand positions, you know which one you feel more into your shoulders with. For me, it's this option with the fingertips facing towards my glutes. So we're going to come into this one more time. You decide how you want your fingers to be, towards the glutes or away from the body. Set it up. Start off by gazing forward. Now inhale, dig the heels in, lift the hips, gaze up. Feel into the shoulders. Hold for another round of breath. Exhale, slowly lower down. Glutes to the mat. Walk the hands outside of the hips. Now from here, lean to the right. Take the right hand to the right glute, pull it back, and then lean over and do that to the left side. Feel how much more grounded you are in your seat when you do that. Starting with the hands outside of the hips, inhale, sweep the arms up. And as you exhale, hinge at the hips, reaching forward, taking your hands down to the mat, your shins, your ankles, or your feet, but trying to avoid grabbing, pulling. Just kind of let yourself fold a little more passively. Deep, deep stretch for the back. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling it especially in my low back. With each exhale, see if you can fold a little deeper. Prepare to roll out. Inhale, gently lifting the head. Slowly rolling up, coming back to that straight spine. Now from here, we're going to lean back, coming onto our backs in a supine position. Start by bending your knees and then lower down one forearm at a time. Connect your back, shoulders, and head. And just give yourself a moment in this neutral spine to feel grounded. And slide your heels in line with your glutes. And then we'll come into a spinal twist. So to prepare for our spinal twist, we'll lift the feet, positioning the ankles in line with the knees. Take your arms out to the sides. So think about positioning your wrist in line with your shoulders. Gaze is up to the ceiling. Take an inhale breath. As you exhale, lower both knees to the left. Focus on keeping that right shoulder down. Now, as you lower the knees off to the left, your knees are likely in position with your hips as we started. So this is going to be helpful to target the mid back. If you want to target the upper back, bring your knees up towards your arm. If you'd rather be in the low back, slide your knees down. So position your knees however you need to for the part of the spine that you want to work on. If you feel discomfort in the option you chose, maybe pick a different one. And with the knees off to the left, you can take your left palm to gently rest on the outside of the right thigh. Not pushing, just gently giving a little assist. Feel into the back. Spinal twisting is great for detoxifying. If your hand is on your thigh, go ahead and release, send the arm back out. Inhale, lift the knees to center, roll onto the back. Reposition yourself by taking the knees above the hips, ankles in line with the knees. Deep inhalation. Exhale, knees over to the right. Both knees to the right. Keep that left shoulder down. Option to keep the knees here at center. Or you can take the knees down lower, focusing on the low back. Or you can bring the knees up towards the arm, moving into the upper back. You decide what your body needs today. Hold and breathe. Maybe that right hand gently rests on the outside of the left thigh. Maybe you gaze over to the left for a deeper spiraling of the spine, but if this hurts your neck, gaze straight up or gaze over in the same direction as your knees. If your hand is on your thigh, release. Open the arm out. Inhale, lift the knees, use your energy, roll onto the back. Exhale, take the feet down to the mat. Bring the arms by your sides. Check to make sure you're on the center of your mat. Feel into the neutral spine. Breathe. Reach your fingertips towards your heels and see if you can graze your heels with your fingertips. Heels in line with the glutes. Now coming into bridge pose, press your feet to the mat. Lift your hips up. Shimmy the shoulders under the body. Let the hands meet, fingers interlace. Press the hands down to the mat as you continue to lift the hips. Avoid the urge to look from side to side. Protect the neck. Know that if you need an assist for this posture, you can use blocks underneath the sacrum. So maybe you take a block to the mid-height, positioning it under the sacrum, and then you can just relax your arms by your sides, letting the arms be more passive. So this is an option if you prefer. Another option is if you want to articulate your spine. From bridge pose, releasing the hands from under the body, with the hips lifted, on your next exhale, slowly lower down bone by bone, reconnecting the spine to the mat. And once the tailbone meets the mat, we'll lift again. Inhale, press feet to the mat, lift the hips. Exhale, lower down, bone by bone, all the way until the tailbone meets the mat. An option to take that one more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, gently lower. Now, as the tailbone meets the mat, stay connected here. If you are in our original bridge option, go ahead and come back down. From here, we'll heel toe the feet open wide. So the feet come to the edges of the mat, and we'll drop the knees in towards each other. We'll release for the low back. Maybe we take the hands to the belly and come back to our breath awareness, taking time to work with the breath, feeling the palms on the belly. As you inhale, feel the belly pressing to the palms. And as you exhale, feel the belly soften. Continue to breathe in this way, focusing on your belly breathing. With each inhalation, taking in fresh, clean, new air. And with each exhalation, letting go of stale, stagnant energy. Let's take one more round before we start to close out our practice today. Separate the knees, heel toe the feet closer together. Lift the feet off the mat and bring your hands to your shins. Now, as you bring your hands to your shins, you can gently rock from side to side, giving yourself a nice little massage for the back. You might even feel this into the glutes. Then we'll find center. And as we find center, we want to bring the knees together. Keeping the hands on the shins, start to draw circles with your knees together in a clockwise direction. Massage for the low back. And then circle around counterclockwise. Find center. Draw circles with the big toes. Feeling into the ankles, inviting in some mobility. Circle around opposite direction. Now take your hands underneath your knees. Bring the feet to stillness. Gently lift the tailbone and start to rock up and down the spine a few times. You'll gain a little momentum coming onto your seat. Now, as you come onto your seat, find the option that's most comfortable for you. As you come into your seated posture, feel your seat rooted down into the mat, into the space, and at the same time, reach the crown of your head up towards the sky. Now relax your shoulders away from your ears. Separate your teeth, relaxing your jaw. Bring your gaze inward by closing your eyes. Use this time to bring all of your awareness to your breath. Inhaling all the way to the top of the breath, all the way until you can't take in any more air. Exhale for a slow, slow, slow release. Practicing breathing with full lung capacity. Deep inhalations, followed by slow exhalations. Continue this breath. Feel this pranayama, this life force energy moving through your body. Allow yourself to stay in the zone of your breath. Know that anytime your back, your shoulders, or your neck are feeling tight or cranky, you can come back to this sequence, not only to serve these areas, but also as a bonus, the sequence helps to inspire better sleep, more peace and calmness in that sleep post-class. Another round of breath as we close. Exhale, sigh of relief, let go. Flutter the eyes open, come back into the space. Notice how it feels at the end of your practice. You've made it through. You've given yourself time to move and using movement as a form of medicine. Feel gratitude for serving yourself and paying attention to self-care. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Namaste. I'm grateful for you, and I hope that you come back for another class. See you next time.